this would have to be something that we all have to watch and see, because it's absurd. This is the most absurd video I've ever clicked on in my entire life, because like we have millennial money, that's great. We have extreme cheapskates, that's fun, that's fun. And then we got this. This is in a category of its own, and this exists on there. So anyway, this is from a YouTuber called Love Your Natural, and the title is How to Get a Guy to Spend Money on You with some emojis, and then, wait for it, must watch. Now, anytime I scroll YouTube and I see a video that says must watch, you gotta watch it. You can't ever scroll past it. It's just must watch. You can't not click on that. So of course I clicked on it, and yeah, let's watch this video and see how she'll get a guy to spend money on you. Let's just see. Let's see if this stuff would work on me, and how absurd this is. Let's give this a shot. But of course, as always, for me, going and watching something like this and basically burning my eye sockets. If you guys wouldn't mind destroying the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and at the very least, if I have to endure 15 minutes of listening to her, at the very least, if we could hit the like button and get 20,000 likes, that'll make my eyes and ears feel so much better. So anyway, with that said, cheers, guys. Let's begin. Oh, I'm gonna need this.
Okay, best friends, let's jump right into this juicy girl talk video. How to get a guy to spend money on you, sis.
Wow, so she's obviously doing better than me. She's sitting there with hundreds. I've, during this whole crisis, instead of having hundreds, I've downgraded myself to 20s, you know? So, yeah, so she's already doing better than me now.
If you're new to my channel, welcome to the Bella Game. Okay, best friend.
Whoa, you see that? She's like, welcome to the Bella Game. Welcome to the Graham Stefan Game, guys. I don't want to, you know what? For the video, I'm gonna have to pick this up later. I hate doing this, but just for the video.
Welcome back, guys.
Oh, man, I'm gonna have to clean that up now. That's not fun. That's not fun. See, now I'm afraid I'm gonna lose a 20 somewhere. Well, whatever, let's continue.
Number one, first of all, is extremely important. Do not skip number one, or you are going to regret it so bad. Number one is...
Number one.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi. 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months after just 2 doses.
Skyrizi may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or coughs, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi.
I'm about to show you the quickest and easiest way that anybody can make a steady income in the stock market. But first, if you
One would be smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. No, if she said that, like that's the fastest way to my heart. That's it right there. But let's see what she says.
Test him. Why do you want to test him? Because you want to make sure that he's the spending money on you type. Some guys, you see them, you know, with their nice cars, and they spend money on Rolexes and money on their outfits and stuff.
Some guys, you see them in the $78 Teslas or the Zenith El Primero watches, spending money on H&M clothing, and you know, they're all about that 20-cent iced coffee.
And you know, they balling out of control. That doesn't mean that he's gonna spend money on you. Some guys, you know, like to spend money on themselves and themselves only, and if you bring it up to them, you know, about spending money on you, they're gonna flat out call you a gold digger. This is my money.
I love that. If you want them to buy you stuff, they're gonna call you a gold digger. Huh. Well, isn't that like the definition of what a gold digger would be? Wouldn't that be calling a spade a spade? From my perspective. I don't know. But let's see what other mental gymnastics she has up her sleeve.
So the first thing you want to do is, like, you know, start a conversation like this. Like, oh my gosh, it's the first of the month already. Like, I feel like I hardly ever have money to myself. I'm always paying all these bills. Oh my God, so annoying.
Oh no! Oh, does that work? Does that actually work? Gosh, I feel like if someone calls a guy up, is like, hey, it's the first of the month already. It's like, I'm not your landlord. I'm not your employer. No, it doesn't work like that. I would be like, listen, how about this? Here's what I would say. If that ever happened to me, I'd be like, listen, you gotta make an account at mint.com. You gotta start budgeting. You gotta start cutting back on the stuff you don't need, and we'll see. We'll take a look over your spreadsheet at the end of the month, and we'll see what we can cut back on, and hopefully at the end of the month, you'll have some money left over to pay your rent.
If he's the type to spend money on you, he's gonna be like, brr, babe, that's crazy. Like, wait, how much do you pay? How much is your rent? Oh, it's $1,500. All right, well, I'm gonna give you $1,500 when I see you later on today.
Who does that? Who does that? I would be shocked. Who's literally like,
How much is your rent? Oh yeah, $6,000. All right, I'll come with $6,000 later, babe.
mind blowing. I see. I'm more the type of person. It's like teach someone to fish, and they can pay their rent for the rest of the year. You know, not in fish, but metaphorically speaking. You don't just hand someone something and there you go, because they don't learn anything from it. So you teach them exactly what to do, and then they could go off and be self-sufficient and be a fully functioning, contributing adult to society.
But if he turns around and says, "Yeah, that's crazy, yo. I hate being an adult. Damn, like I'm sorry to hear that. Like you got bills, like pretty much, you know, that's a code word. That's a code word for like I don't got money like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are getting clearer. Yeah, I feel free. Spare my skin. Yeah, that's on me. Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin. That's my new plan. Nothing is everything.
Keep your skin clearer with Skyrizi. 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. Of those, nearly 9 out of 10 sustained it through 1 year. And Skyrizi is 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
I see nothing in a different way. And it's my moment, so I just gotta say. Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi may increase your risk of infections and
I don't got money like that. It's just like, I'm not gonna pay your rent for you. I'm not gonna do that. Like, again, it's something like that I think is just, you know, to each their own. Ah, man.
So that straight out the gate.
Pay your rent for you. I'm not gonna do that. Like, it's something like that. I think it's just,
kind of man
you're dealing with a man who's not gonna pay your rent. It's not that you're dealing with a man who's not gonna pay your rent. It's not that you're dealing with a man who's not gonna. This is what she's really after. She just wants a guy to pay for her. I'm sure for her that's a good way to weed people out. Like 99.999% of the demographic out there probably gonna fall to the side. But at this point, it's probably a numbers game. It's probably she dates enough guys at the beginning of the month. She's got to make her phone calls. Like she's got that cold call list where she's got to go through Brian.
My rent, man. Bills. Joe, hey, how's it going? It's the first of the month already.
And I'm sure if she does 100 people, one of the guys might be like, hey,
How much you need?
all right, I got you. And then she's got that guy on lock. And then the next month she goes to him first, and if he cancels, then she'll go to the other guys. So
Just like that, I made $2,000.
If he passed, then girl, you got yourself a good one. You got yourself a little, I don't want to say sugar daddy, okay? Because when I say how to get a guy to spend money on you, I'm not talking about, like, because I've never been a sugar baby. I never used guys, you know, to be my sugar daddy. This is your significant other, like your future husband.
oh, gotcha. So only your future husband and only like a serious long-term boyfriend would ever just voluntarily pay your rent for you. If it's not that, then that's not gonna happen. Wow.
I know for myself, like, that's one of my deal breakers. Like, I can't be with a guy that thinks it's a problem to spoil his girl, that thinks it's a problem, like, every time I ask for something that, you know, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? There's this quote that says, if you're in a relationship and you're struggling, then sis, you're single. And I couldn't agree with that post. Like, oh my God, I love that post so much.
But listen, doesn't this go both ways too? What if the guy is the one who's struggling? What if the guy is the one who's just like constantly paycheck to paycheck, and the woman is the one working, has a great job? Does that then change things? Does that not make any impact whatsoever? What about teaching? What about helping? What about saying, like, you know, honey, let's look at your credit score. Let's see what your bills are falling down. Okay, let's pay this one off first. This is the highest interest rate. You know what? You could look into, you know, getting some new skills, learning some new stuff, and making more money. Like that I think is a better long-term approach than just being like, hey, how much is your cable this month? Here, that's a lot for cable. Here, that's cable this month.
You know, I make my own money, and as women, we should make our own money, but we should be able to have men to, like, you know, the times get hard. Like, all right, babe, here you go, babe. You need $100.
Wait a second, that makes no sense. So she can work and have her own money. That's hers. That is exclusively hers. But whoever she's dating, his money is hers too. So she gets everything. This is the equivalent of winning the lottery.
You need $100. Here you go. Here's doing 20.
Here. Wouldn't that just be degrading to come over to your boyfriend's house? Like, here you go. How much money do you need?
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi. 3 out of 4 people achieve.
What do you need? How much money you need? There you go. Let's make it. Like, wouldn't that just make you feel bad? I don't know.
Number 2 is go on dates that are nearby shopping centers.
Oh, wow! She's got this all figured out. Go to a place near a mall. The funnest part about shopping, in my opinion, is going to the really expensive stores and then looking at the price tag and you try to guess how much it is, and then you look at the price tag and you're just blown away. You're like, how can this shirt ever be $700? How is this jacket $4,000? And then you laugh and you have a great time. Like, that's fun. But this is a bad dream.
I was going out with this guy, and when he asked me one time where you want to go, and I said, yeah, I want to go to this, you know, seafood restaurant or whatever, and because I knew that it was across the street from, like, the mall.
Oh my God, that laugh.
And he said, what you want to do after? Just like I thought he would say. And I was like, oh, the mall is up the block. We could walk around the mall. I was walking around the mall. He's like, you want anything? Cha-ching! Of course I want something. I want this. I want this.
Oh, that's so tacky, though. That's so tacky. Like, even if I ever go out to dinner with friends or whatever, and I know someone else is paying, I always make sure, like, I feel bad about that. So usually what I'll do is I'll order, like, the least expensive thing on the menu, just because I feel bad if someone else is going to be treating me. I don't want to abuse that. She just took the opposite approach. She's like, well, you're paying? Well, I'm gonna get lobster. I'm gonna get what's the most expensive bottle of champagne? Yeah, I'm gonna get that. Oh, you know what? Let me take that to go because my refrigerator is rather heavy. You know what she should really be doing? She should really be going on dates on the first of the month when rent is due, and then do that next to a grocery store so she can go and stock up on groceries as well. See? There we go.
And matter of fact, we're not going to Forever 21. Let's go to the Louis store real quick. There's something that I want. okay? And lo and behold, girl, he took me shopping, okay? We went shopping, we had a good time, and I really, really enjoyed that. Like, that made me look at him differently. Like, oh, like, you husband material.
I love how her criteria for husband is not like someone who's caring, someone who's passionate, someone, you know, who speaks their mind, who's intellectually stimulating. It's can this guy just go take me shopping? Can this guy pay my rent? You know what? You know, she's very simple, very just, you know, just one track mind. So be it. You know, I really believe there's a person for everybody out there.
You know what I'm saying? Because I always look at every guy I date as, can he be like my husband and stuff like that? Because, you know, that's one of the things I look for in a husband. Like, I feel like stability is so sexy.
I'm curious, though, what she brings to the relationship. You know, all things considered, as of now, she seems just like a drain. It seems like she's just draining without really adding much to the relationship there. So let's see. Maybe she has something that we don't know about.
Number 3 is
ulcerative colitis is more than a bathroom disease. UC is serious, and your symptoms could be signs of damaging.
Is make him feel good for spending money on you. If you make a guy feel good for spending money on you, sis, he's gonna spend more money on you.
That seems very manipulative, though. I mean, again, we'll call it for what it is. It's very manipulative behavior. And I don't know what guy would tolerate that in a relationship, but again, this is so foreign to me. This is so just weird of a concept that I can't wrap my head around it.
So example is like, let's say he took you shopping, like, oh my God, thank you, baby, like, I really appreciate it. Like, you're so different from the other dudes I date.
Oh my God, you're so much better than every other guy who's ever bought me Louis Vuitton, ever.
You're so much better than all the 4 other guys who paid my rent in the last 4 months. You're so much better than that. They all went away. They ran out of money, but you still have more money. I don't know.
Make him feel good. You know what I'm saying? Make him feel good. Tell him thank you. I don't want to say sleep with him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like, you know, like he did this for you, so you gotta sleep with him. I'm not telling you ladies to sleep with him, but if he's your man, like, make him feel extra special that night. You know what I'm saying?
But she's implying, okay, so I'm keeping the video PG, but also I'm gonna say she's implying. She's implying whatever she's implying. Okay, I'm not gonna get into that because don't want to be demonetized. This is a somewhat family channel, and yeah, we're not gonna go there.
Sis, if it's his birthday, it's Christmas, and Valentine's Day, you could spend $200 on like a cologne for him. You know what I'm saying? Or his favorite sneakers to show he's appreciated. Once he feels like he's appreciated, he's gonna want to shower you with gifts upon gifts upon gifts.
Gotcha. So you got to give back like 1% of what he gives you. If he gives you 20 grand, then his birthday present, $200.
Don't be spoiling no man that ain't spoiling you. All right, stop doing that. You know, that's a quick way for a guy to use you. Once a guy knows that he can get this out of you, he's gonna, you know, you give guys an inch, they take a mile. So make sure that he does it first, then you can slowly do it back.
I wonder what's gonna happen when the guy she's dating goes and watches her videos, because it's inevitable that they're gonna find out she's making YouTube videos. She's got 824,000 subscribers. I don't know if she's single right now or if she's actively dating. She's dating multiple. We don't know. But it's just, at some point, some guy is going to come across this who's dating her, and I can't imagine any successful, self-sufficient guy who's into her is going to come across this video and not be repulsed by it. You would think. Stranger things have happened, though.
Number 4 is don't abuse his money, or he will catch on and cut you off. Now, I'm sad to say, but I know this from experience.
Why is she laughing about this? That is such an evil laugh. I know from experience. You know, oh, wow, just the behavior from this.
I don't care. I mean, I do care because the money stopped coming. But I remember, like, this guy, like, was taking shopping all the time, and literally, like, every week we would just go shopping.
See, again...
Fatigue.
Weight loss.
Abdominal pain.
Fever.
Ulcerative colitis is more than a bathroom disease.
Be clear about all your symptoms when speaking with your gastroenterologist.
Get the facts at crohnsandcolitis.com.
Every single Sunday, I send out a watch list for free of the absolute best stocks that are coming up over the course of the week. For example, 2 of the stocks on my recent watch list spiked 126% and 231% after being featured on my watch list. My name is Tim Sykes. I started roughly $12,000. I've now made nearly $5 million, all while visiting over 100 countries, and I've lived...
It's just like she says you can't expect it, but then she's expecting it, and then when the money cuts off, she bounced. She's like, I'm out of there. That's exactly what. Okay, we'll end it there.
And then one day, I was like, oh, I think we should go to this outlet, you know, this Saturday. He was like, yeah, I don't think I could do that, or I don't even think I could go out with you anymore. I'm like, why? And he's like, oh, because I have a girlfriend now. He probably even have a girlfriend. I feel like it's because like I abused it. Like he was spending like $1,000 like almost every week.
$1,000 a week? Holy crap! How does she find people like that? How do they find people? That is $52,000 a year. You know how hard people have to work to make $1,000 a week? That is just spent. Well, you know what? She is good for the economy. You know, because she is not the type. She's not investing any of it. She's not putting it under her mattress. She's not saving any of it. All of that money circulates back into the economy. So in a way, we need people like her in existence because it takes money from people who have money to spend or burn, puts it back into the economy through buying luxury items and goods, and everyone's happy.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. So
I love how she didn't even edit out her taking a sip of that. Like it would be like me doing this. Okay, what's my next note? Why not just edit that out? Take the extra second. Edit that part out. Make it nice so it looks like this. Perfect.
Number 5, how to get a guy to spend money on you. Number 5 is pull out your wallet first and act as if you're going to pay. If he's just spending money on the type, he's gonna be like, what are you doing? No, babe, I got this.
Oh, wow, the good old pull the wallet out first trick.
Like maybe you guys are at a store and you're shopping and you're too nervous to ask them. You're gonna know once you hit the cashier, okay? Once you hit the register, bring all your clothes, but make sure that it's items that you can afford.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, imagine pulling out your wallet and, like, you have $10,000 worth of clothes and you're just pulling it out, your hand is, like, shaking like this. You're looking at him, you guys are looking at each other, and he's like, yeah, no, it's a good buy, getting a good deal. And you take out your wallet and your credit card and, like, you slowly insert it, and then you realize, like, he's not going to pay for it. Well, I guess what you would do is just return it afterwards. Like, unless it's a final sale, you'd probably just have to be like, oh, thanks, and you have to go and return it afterwards, I'd imagine.
That's how you do it, ladies. That was my 5 tips on how to get a guy to spend money on you. I hope you enjoyed this video.
Wow, so quite a doozy there. That was not expected. Did not wake up this morning expecting to watch this video. So overall, I mean, here's what I have to say. There's someone for everyone. And even though I don't understand the concept behind it, I don't doubt there are people out there for everybody. There's not going to be a shortage of guys out there who don't mind paying, just like there's not going to be a shortage of people like her who love just being paid on. Who am I to basically go and judge her for her life? So I don't get it. I think it's wild. I think it's crazy. I just can't get the concept from my own perspectives in life. But you know what? To each your own. And at the very least, this makes a very interesting video to watch. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to demolish the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram. Posts are pretty much daily, so if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there. And lastly, if you guys want 2 free stocks, use the link down below in the description, and Webull is going to be giving you 2 free stocks when you sign up on their platform and deposit $100, with one of the stocks valued up to $1,400. So if you want your 2 free stocks, use that link down below. Let me know which 2 free stocks you get. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi. 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months after just 2 doses.
What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So I thought this would be fun to get back to the basics and cover every technique that I've used along the way that's allowed me to save nearly 100% of my income and essentially live for free. That includes how I'm able to own my home for pretty much nothing out of pocket, how I'm able to travel anywhere in the world without spending a dollar, how I'm able to drive a Tesla for $78 a month, and every other master Jedi money-saving trick that I have learned along the way to stretch each dollar as far as it could possibly go. Hold on one second. Mom! No, I don't want hot dogs tonight. I told you I wanted pizza. Oh man, she always does this when I'm filming and bothers me. But anyway, one of the best ways to save as much money as you can is to move in your mom's basement and then borrow her car when she's not using it, and then use your credit card to go and buy things so you don't have to pay for it yourself. Seriously, it works wonders and is one of the best ways to save as much money as you possibly can. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I've just found ways to be really creative with my spending, and by doing so, that allows me to save more, invest more, which means I have more freedom to go and do what I want. Like spending half of this video trying to get you guys to destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So with that said, let's get into the video, and I'm going to be sharing every way that I have used to save about 99% of my income, starting with this. But first, I just want to clarify that regardless of how much money I make, for me, learning and figuring out different ways to save money is fun. Even as a kid, I was just that weird person who got more enjoyment from saving and investing than I ever got from spending. spending. So for almost my entire life, I've just found creative ways to stretch $1 as far as it could possibly go. My rationalization was really just the entire concept of what's known as FIRE, which stands for Financially Independent Retired Early. This is the methodology that if you save and invest enough money, eventually you're going to reach a point of financial independence where your investments can cover your day-to-day lifestyle without you needing to work. And once I heard this concept put into words, it was just eye-opening for me. To me, it's so much more than just being frugal and saving money. It's really about prioritizing your life around the things and experiences that mean the most to you and then cutting back on everything else that doesn't fit that. It's about building a life that eventually leads to complete freedom to do what you want when you want to do it without finances holding you back. And once you reach that point, the possibilities are limitless. Doing this has allowed me to create a schedule where almost every day just feels like a Saturday, and I have the ability to work on the things I find the most enjoyable. But anyway, point being, this video is not just about being cheap. It's about realizing what's really important and getting the most value from your money as possible. And that way you can have enough money left over for whatever freedoms and luxuries you like. And these are my top money saving strategies that have made the biggest impact for me. Now, the first is by doing what's called house hacking, and this is what's led me to own my home here in Los Angeles for $0 out of pocket while still getting to live here for free. And if that sounds too good to be true, let me explain how it works and how I've done it. To start, house hacking is when you buy a multifamily property like a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, then you move into one of the units and rent out the others to cover your cost. You might also be able to do this with a single family home with a guest house, or be able to rent out a basement to cover your overhead. And typically when done right, the rental income from the other units should cover all of your overhead and expense of owning the building, and when that happens, essentially you got a free place to stay. Now, in order to do this, it typically requires you save up about 10 to 20% of the cost of the building as your down payment to buy the property. But once you have that amount, you can leverage the property for pretty much free housing for the rest of your life. For myself, I bought a duplex that needed a decent amount of work, so I spent a few months fixing it up. I then moved in, collected rent from the other unit to cover my mortgage, and within about 2 years, I was able to do a cash out refinance to recoup my entire investment within the property. Meaning at that time, I had $0 of my own money invested in the deal. The property was able to cash flow enough to cover my entire payment, meaning that I have a place that I could live in for nothing out of pocket. And for anyone who wants more details on this and how it works, because I could easily talk another 10 or 20 minutes on this subject, I'm going to be linking to another video down below in the description for anyone curious. Now, I will say that doing something like this does not come without a lot of work, a lot of patience to find the right deal, and the money to actually go and buy this in the first place. But this is not an unusual or uncommon real estate strategy for people who want to live for free, and house hacking is a fairly known method for people who want to leverage their money, invest in real estate, and cut down on their housing significantly. And if you don't have a down payment saved up right now, but you still want to cut down on your housing, no worries on that. You could also reduce your cost of living by doing what's called rent hacking. This is where you go and rent a house and then sublet a few of the bedrooms to cover your cost. Or similar to this, you can consider living with roommates to give yourself enough time to save up. But overall, for me, house hacking has been one of the best things that I have ever done. It's estimated that most people spend 30 to 50% of their income on housing. So being able to address the biggest expense first will go the longest way in terms of how much money you could save. Besides that, I've also found a really interesting way to save on transportation, and that's by paying very close attention to the car I drive, and I'm going to call this one car hacking. And I know that sounds like super shady stuff, like car hacking. It's not. I know these are fairly specific one-off examples, but there are a lot of cars out there that you could buy for under market value that have already experienced the majority of their depreciation that you could pretty much drive for free without it losing much value. For example, many used cars reach this point after about 5 or 6 years that you could buy it at a good deal and then drive it without that car costing you a lot of money. For me, I did this with a Lotus Elise. I've always been really into cars, so in 2009, I bought a Lotus Elise for $30,000, drove it for a few years, and then sold it for $30,000. That car cost me nothing to own besides paying insurance, gas, and doing a few oil changes myself. I then did the same thing with my Lotus Exige S240. I bought that car in 2014, drove it for 5 years, and then sold it recently for about the same price I bought it for. Those cars are like savings accounts because you can put your money in the car, drive it around for a few years, and then get all your money back by the time you're done with it. Even with my Tesla Model 3, I was able to get the cost down substantially by understanding the tax code and the EV rebates available to me. After doing my research, I determined that if I financed 100% of the car and put the sales tax on my credit card, I'd get back a $3,750 federal tax credit, a $2,500 EV tax credit, and be able to write off the cost of the car against my business, allowing me to drive it for the out-of-pocket cost of $78 a month. And that doesn't even include the cost of gas savings or being able to invest my money elsewhere at a much higher return than what I'm paying paying an interest on the car loan. Now I understand that not everyone is self-employed and can utilize those tax deductions. But even if you're watching this and just want to get a car to take you from point A to point B, you could still get a really good deal on a used car below what it's worth and drive it for free because it's already seen the majority of its depreciation. Then at the very least, your only out-of-pocket cost is going to be insurance, gas, and maintenance, which hopefully you find yourself a really reliable car and you don't have a lot of speeding tickets. That way insurance is not going to be too high. After that though is one of my favorite topics that I talk about non-stop, and that's how I'm able to travel for free using nothing but credit card reward points. And here's how that works. Credit card companies will offer incredible bonuses just for signing up for their credit card. People who understand the art of how the system works can use this to their advantage by signing up for a credit card, meeting the minimum spending requirements to get the bonus, then get the bonus, redeem that for all types of free travel, and then move on to the next one and repeat the process again. I absolutely love talking about this because I'm proud to say that I have not paid for a single plane ticket or hotel in over 4 years now, and doing this is incredibly simple and fun. For instance, you might be able to find an American Express Gold Card link that'll give you 50,000 points when you spend $2,000 in the first 3 months. That means if you just go and put all of your normal spending on the card during that time frame to get the bonus, you're gonna have enough points to get 2 free round-trip plane tickets anywhere in North America when you redeem it for Aeroplan. I've just taken this concept to an extreme by opening up 1 to 3 credit cards a year, meeting the minimum spending requirements, getting the points, and then using those points to travel wherever I want without spending any additional money. Now, of course, though, if you want to do this successfully, there are a few ground rules. First, obviously, you should never do this if you don't know how to properly handle a credit card. You need to use it responsibly, only spend money you were planning to spend anyway, and always pay it off in full by the time it's due. No exceptions. If you can't do it correctly, then don't do it. Second, it's really important you never pay a single dime in interest. I'm always shocked when people think a credit card will cost them money because they're going to be owing interest on what they spend. So let's make it very clear. You're not going to have to owe any interest as long as you pay off your credit card in full at the time it's due. And third, do not do this if you're about to get a loan on a house or a car. This is because there is a mild impact to your credit score every time you apply for a new line of credit. So unless you already have an extensive line of credit history, it's probably too risky to open up anything new right before you're getting a loan without giving yourself enough time for your credit score to recover. Doing this could be a really fun hobby that'll end up making you a lot of money in free travel and perks and services. That's also how I've been able to cut my travel budget down to $0. And for anyone who wants more information on this, I highly recommend you check out The Points Guy, Nerd Wallet, and 2 YouTubers known as Ask Sebi and The Credit Shifu. They all have incredible information about credit cards, reward points, and everything else involving that. Next, we're going to be talking about something that's very close to my heart, and that would be coffee. If there's one thing that I refuse to spend money on, it's this. I've just never seen the point in going and spending a few dollars for coffee at a coffee shop when instead you could make it at home for pennies on the dollar. Because going and spending money on coffee does add up. For example, if making coffee at home saves you $15 a week, that works out to be a $780 a year savings. And if you just invested those savings every single year into a Roth IRA within an S&P 500 index fund that averages a 7% return adjusted for inflation with dividends reinvested, I said that all in one take, by the way, that gets a like on this video. Over 40 years, that amount will have accumulated to over $178,000. And if you're wondering right now, Graham, how do I even do this? Where do I start? Well, not to worry, and here's why you're never gonna have to be concerned about picking the right coffee or running out of it ever again, and that's all thanks to our video sponsor today, Trade Coffee. With Trade, you can discover new coffees from the nation's top roasters. Trade literally matches you to your perfect selection of coffee and then conveniently delivers it without you ever needing to leave your kitchen. All you need to do is take the online quiz, which will ask you questions about how you like your coffee, and they will pair you with the perfect match. Then you can choose how often you want the coffee delivered to you, and it'll appear right at your doorstep, fresh from the roaster. Afterwards, you could rate your matches so Trade can continue to delight you with the best coffees you'll absolutely love. So for anyone interested, click the link below in the description to get 30% off your first bag of coffee when you sign up, and free shipping is included. And seriously, real talk here, this is not them telling me what to say at this point, but I have been using this, and this is seriously good. The quality is so much better than I was getting from anywhere else, and the blends that I was able to try were so much better than what I could have picked out on my own. So this is a company I'm honestly really happy to stand behind, because quite literally I'm now standing behind it. Not to mention, making coffee at home is a phenomenal way to save money, so come on, it's a win-win here. Besides that, another way that I've been able to cut back and save a decent amount of money is by not frequently eating out at restaurants. Now, I totally understand that this might not have as big of an impact on your finances like housing or transportation, but still, every little bit matters, and it does add up. For me, I've been able to really easily cut back on this just by going and making food at home and then and bringing it to work instead of spending $10 to $15 on lunch. Or instead of going out to eat somewhere, it's really easy to go to the grocery store, spend $7 on food, and make yourself a meal for the fraction of a price a restaurant would charge you. Now that's not to say that I never go out to restaurants, because that's not the case. But even when you do go out, you can still find different ways to save money without much effort. One of the ways I could do this is just by finding restaurant happy hours, which will often give you a 10 to 50% discount just by going a little earlier or a little later. It's the exact same food at the exact same place with the exact same experience, except maybe you show up at 5:30 instead of at 7 and you pay half the price. Another way to do this is that if all of your friends are going out to a big meal but you don't feel like spending $40 on food, just go and order an appetizer instead. Usually those appetizers are just as filling, they're half the price, and you still get to enjoy a meal with all of your friends, except you're saving a lot of money. The same thing also applies with alcohol, and frankly, I think it's a big waste to go out and spend money on drinks, not to mention it's not that good for you. So I prefer not to drink. Not only does it save me a lot of money, but I also feel better not having alcohol in my system. And of course, every now and then I will order a drink, but when I do, it's a special occasion, and I value the experience much more than if I just went out and ordered a $12 drink every single time I went out. So cutting back on restaurants but going out on occasion just makes it a much more fun and memorable experience when you do go out. Plus, going and making food at home saves you a lot of money that you can go and reinvest elsewhere. And then one more while I'm on the topic of unusual ways to save money, and that would be by always going and finding free parking. I really should have included this in my interview with CNBC about things I refuse to spend money on, because besides coffee and designer clothes, paying for parking would be one of those things I absolutely loathe. I just don't see the point in spending $5 to $10 in parking when instead I could park a block away for free and just walk there. For me, that's like I'm getting paid for doing a little exercise, plus it saves money. Now sure, I get it, every now and then it might be worth it to pay for convenience, or if you're in a time crunch and need to get somewhere, okay, maybe it's worth it not to have to walk like a mile to get to your destination. But for the most part, if you have nothing else to do with your time, sometimes it's worth it. Just park a little bit further away, save the money, get some exercise, and walk to where you're wanting to go. It's such an easy way to save money and cut back on your spending, especially if you're in a big city that charges you a lot of money for parking fees. And lastly, for me, one of the biggest reasons why all of this was possible was because
Steve and Dave use eToro to trade cryptocurrencies. Steve has a watch list for promising breakout coins. Dave has a watch list too. So why is Dave just as good a trader as Steve? It's because Dave used eToro's copy trader to automatically replicate Steve's trading activity. Whenever Steve makes a trade, Dave does too. Trade like a Steve with eToro, the world's leading social trading platform.
The stock market is on fire right now. Now, you know it and I know it too. This is the best time that you can be investing and pulling out big profits. My name is Jeff Bishop. I'm the co-founder of RagingBull.com. I'm considered the world's #1 high profit, real
was because I meticulously tracked my expenses. You won't know how much money you'll need to sustain your lifestyle, and you're not going to be able to effectively cut back on the things that aren't bringing you a lot of value. And doing this is really simple. I use the websites mint.com and personalcapital.com, which automatically keep a thorough report on how much you make, how much you spend, and where you spend it. Doing this is so impactful that I promise if you just do this for 2 months, you're going to be shocked at how much money you waste on things that bring no value to you whatsoever that you make without even thinking about it. By tracking your spending and knowing exactly where it goes, you're going to be able to better pinpoint the inefficiencies, cut back, and save money for the things that do matter. And when I do that, one of the weird money-saving tricks I do is just think to myself, if I save money by not buying something, in a way, it's like I've just made that amount of money. Like if I was going to spend $5 on a cup of coffee driving home, but instead I decided not to go and get the cup of coffee, in a way, it's like I just have an extra $5 now sitting in my account because otherwise I would have spent it. Thinking this way really rewires your brain in how it perceives saving, and instead reframes it as, I'm not saving money, I am making the money I didn't spend. Now at this point, some of the things I mentioned might seem like small, non-consequential ways to save money that just complicate your life and cost you time. But the way I see it is that if you could bring down the most expensive costs first, like transportation and housing, and then pay attention to these small day-to-day items that add up over time, like eating out, parking fees, making coffee, and so on, you'll put yourself in the best position possible to cut back as much as you can and save the most money long-term so it sticks. Because let's be real, it's not cutting back on all the small costs alone that will save you millions of dollars. Like, going to buy Starbucks twice a week is not going to bankrupt you. But instead, it's the attitude that every little bit matters, and the type of person to track these small, everyday purchases is likely to carry that mentality forward into other larger items that will end up saving you more money. For me, even now, regardless of how much money I make, I only spend what the rental properties generate, and that's it. I lived extremely frugally for the first 4 years of my career as a real estate agent to save up all of my commission, and with that, I invested back into real estate. That allowed me to save 100% of my income as a real estate agent, live off of my investments, and with all the money I make, I could reinvest it back into more rental properties that would make me more money, that would increase my budget. And still to this day, I only spend what my investments make me, and that's it. Any other money I make is put back into rental properties, and that way my lifestyle is always 100% covered, regardless of how much money I make from other income sources. And really, at the end of the day, all of this is just about doing a few things consistently. It's living below your means, cutting back on the spending that's not important to you, saving the difference, and investing long term. If you're open-minded and don't mind putting in the work, there's so many ways that you can get the exact same lifestyle you have right now, except at a fraction of the price, by house hacking, car hacking, credit card churning, making coffee at home, not going out to restaurants as often, living below your means, and tracking your expenses, and then saving and investing the difference. If you do that long enough consistently, you're going to be able to build up a lifestyle of financial independence. And at that point, you can choose to do whatever you want, whatever day of the week it is, for as long as you live, even if that means you can just sit in your garage and make YouTube videos about how other people could do that and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And believe me, doing this is not without a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline. It isn't easy, but if you get in the habit of doing this early on, trust me, it is entirely worth it. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. And again, I want to say a huge thank you to our sponsor, Trade Coffee, for sponsoring this video and providing some very good coffee for this video. And of course, in addition to that, if you have not already subscribed yet, make sure to do that and hit the notification bell. Feel free to add me on Instagram. I post there pretty much daily, so if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there, as on my second channel, The Stefan Show. I post there every single day. I'm not posting here. So if you want to see a brand new video from me every single day, feel free to do that. And lastly, if you guys want 2 free stocks, use the link down below in the description. Webull will give you 2 free stocks when you deposit $100 on their platform. One of those stocks is going to be valued up to $1,400. So if you want a chance to get 2 free stocks, with one of them being worth a lot of money, use that link down below and enjoy. Let me know what 2 free stocks you get. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
I want you to learn to make the best trades possible. We're in this game together, and I'm going to help you win. I get it. There's probably 1,000 people out there with a stock trading system or trying to help you be a better trader. But I'm doing it for real. Ask them, how many verified 100% winners do they have in the last few months? Ask them if you can see their live trading account every day. If they're putting...
What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So let's face it, I've spent a lot of my time trying to find the most creative ways I can to save money. In the past, I've done online surveys, I've done focus groups, I've signed up for bank accounts to get the bonus, and I still open a few credit cards a year to get the free travel points. But sometimes the best ways to make extra money are right in front of us in the common items that we use every single day. Now sure, sometimes these items might cost you a little bit more money up front, but make no mistake, these 10 things will end up paying for themselves rather quickly and then even make you money when you consider just how much money you're going to be saving long term. Not to mention, many of these could end up giving you a way better return than you ever could by investing in stocks, or in real estate, or in Tesla stock, or by smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So needless to say, the ROI on these could add up very quickly. So let me not delay this any longer. I'm way too excited to talk about this. So with that said, let's get into the video. Now first, we're going to be talking about something that doesn't cost a lot of money, but I believe over everything, this will make the biggest difference in terms of how much money you make and to change your entire outlook on life, and that would be the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Seriously, there are very few things I would ever recommend this strongly, but this is one of them. When it comes to making money, building wealth, and progressing in your career, I really believe a big part of that is mental. And this book really gives you the exact strategies and blueprint to think like someone who makes millions of dollars and achieves whatever they set out to do. I first read this book as a teenager, and it changed my entire outlook on life, and then since then, I read this book about every year or so just to remind myself of the power of positive thinking. So no joke, just going through this book and internalizing its teachings could easily end up making you a significant amount of money over the course of your lifetime. But wait, there's more. I have the perfect solution, and that would be thanks to our video sponsor today, Audible. That's right, it's that time of year again where you make and set New Year's goals and resolutions, and they're very easy to make, but even harder to keep. Audible believes research that listening can help motivate, inspire, inform, and help keep you successful in 2020 and beyond. Their content includes an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original audio shows, news, and comedy, including this book I just mentioned, Think and Grow Rich. Even for me, it's hard sometimes to find the time to actually sit down and read, but with the amount of time I spend in the car, listening to an audiobook is really the perfect solution. So whether it's becoming physically fit, financially fit, or learning to become a better person or leader, it's all on Audible. You can listen anywhere, anytime, on any device, including mobile, Alexa, Bluetooth, and more. And to help motivate you, Audible is issuing a challenge to its current and new members. Finish 3 books by March 3rd, and they will be giving you a $20 Amazon credit. It's that simple. Just finish 3 books by the date 3/3, and you'll get $20. How easy is that? Plus, there's nothing to enter. Audible will automatically keep track of your progress for you. With Audible, you'll also enjoy easy audiobook exchanges and your own audiobook library that you can keep forever, even if you cancel. So go to audible.com/GrahamStefan or text GrahamStefan to 500-500 to get an exclusive 30-day free trial, 1 free audiobook of your choice, and 2 Audible originals absolutely free. So with that said, let's go on to the next thing that will end up paying for itself and making you money. The second, we're going to be talking about something that I know you're all too familiar with, but it's certainly an epidemic that's plaguing our society, and that would be coffee. And that means the second and 34 spend an average of over $2,000 a year on this deliciously amazing drink. But we really have to call it for what it is, a waste of money. Because instead you could spend $25 on a coffee maker and then another $10 on coffee and filters. And with that, you can make your own coffee at home for a fraction of the price. So for someone who goes and pays $3 on a cup of Starbucks every single morning, spending $35 on coffee, making it at home, will pay for itself in less than 2 weeks, and then everything else after that is profit. Seriously, doing this could lead to a savings of almost $2,000 a year for the average coffee drinker just by doing this yourself. I've been making coffee at home for years now, and I have to say, nothing tastes better than coffee that only costs you 20 cents a cup to make and allows you to invest the entire difference into something else that will end up making you more money. The third, since we all need to eat, food is obviously a necessity. And one of the best ways to cut back and buy something that will end up paying for itself very quickly.
Hi there, I'm Jeff Bishop. I'm the co-founder of RagingBull.com. I'm one of the top real money options traders in the entire world. I want to share with you today something that I was told many years ago, and that is, if you want to be in the top 1%, you cannot do what the 99% are doing every single day. If you want to get rich, you need to make new choices in life. You need to take action, and you need to make a new direction, and you absolutely can do that. Now, I've taken 20 years of my best options trading secrets, and I've rolled them into one easy-to-follow handbook called the Option Profit Accelerator. Now, I want to give this to you today absolutely free. There's no credit card needed. I'm not going to ask you for any information other than simply an email where I can send it to you right now. I want you to get your hands on this and start making better trades today. I don't care if you're brand new in the market and never traded, or if you've been trading for 20 years. It doesn't matter. What you learn in this book is going to make you a better trader, and I'm confident you will make more money. So get your hands on this right now, and let's make money together.
very quickly is with a crock pot. For less than $40, and for anyone who can't cook that well, like me, a crock pot is a blessing. All you need to do is throw in some meat and vegetables and then forget about it until later. Then afterwards, you're gonna get a really delicious home-cooked meal for a fraction of the price of going out and eating at a restaurant. Even if doing this just ends up saving you $5 per meal instead of grabbing food on the way home. Your total cost for the crock pot plus ingredients should end up paying for itself within 2 weeks, and then anything else after that is profit. If you looked at that in terms of an investment, that would equate to a 2,600% return just by saving $5 a day, 5 times per week over the course of a year. See, sometimes the best way to make money is by cutting back on what you already spend and then investing the difference. And coming home to a gorgeous looking crock pot is absolutely a really good way to do that. The fourth, speaking of ways to cut back and save money, this is something I switched to a few years ago and it made a tremendous difference, and that was by buying rechargeable batteries. Seriously, just look around your place and notice all of the things that use batteries. I'm talking remotes, audio devices, those fake candles you buy for decorations. A lot of things still take batteries these days. And I didn't realize how expensive batteries were lately. Like seriously, this package of AA batteries will run you about $16 $5 at the store. But for a little bit more, you can get a whole bunch of rechargeable batteries and never have to replace them ever again. Before doing this, I found myself going through 40 packs of AA batteries every few weeks with all the filming that I do. So instead, I switched over to the rechargeable ones, and I have not bought new batteries in years. My cost went from about $5 a week in batteries all the way down to maybe a few cents in electricity charges during off-peak electrical hours. So definitely consider doing this, and spending $20 up front could easily save you 5 times that over the next few years if you end up using batteries as often as I do. The same also applies with number 5 on this list, and that would be by buying a reusable water bottle. First of all,